Hello, everyone. Welcome to our today's session. So today, I would want us to look at quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis is what I want us to look at today. And specifically, I would want us to right away go to regression analysis. Quantitative analysis. The topic of discussion is quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis, or rather regression analysis. Regression analysis. Great. So, if you have been able to see this particular video, I expect you to go ahead and share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. Great. So here we are. So we want to look at regression analysis. So when we talk of regression analysis, ladies and gentlemen, what is regression analysis? Regression is a statistical model. It is a statistical model that is used to derive equations of the form of y equals a plus bx, equations of the form y equals a plus bx, y equals a plus bx. Of course, if you are keen enough, you'll be able to bear witness with us that this is a straight line equation. If it's a straight line equation, ladies and gentlemen, then we need to appreciate the very fact that A is the y-intercept. So A here is the y-intercept. This is the y-intercept. And B is the gradient. B is the gradient. And the most important thing is for us to appreciate that for us to be able to get B, we shall not go the easier way of talking of change in y over change in x, the gradient way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is regression, which gives us a special way of getting the gradient. And for us to get the gradient here, B, we normally talk of change, not change, but we normally talk of, that is the easier one. That is the easier one. For us here to be able to get B using the regression way, B will be n summations of xy minus summation of x, summation of y. All over, we have here n summations of x squared, minus into brackets here sum of x done what here, squared like that. So this is the gradients approach, the regression's approach of getting the gradient. Regression approach of getting our gradient. Once we get the gradient, then to get the y-intercept is quite an easy thing. To get the y-intercept, which is our A, it is normally obtained by us taking summation of y minus b, summation of x, all over what here? All over n. Summation of y minus b, summations of x, all over n. So what are we learning here, ladies and gentlemen? That first of all, if it's simple regression, the one that is used to ascertain this kind of a function, if it's a simple regression, the one that is used to ascertain this kind of a function, we must first of all get the gradient, because we need the gradient here in ascertainment of what here? A. In ascertainment of A. Now, I would want us to use a very simple illustration to illustrate this particular concept of what here, how to come up with the two parameters. So assuming you are given two parameters here, x, y, and then they give you, for example, values of x, for example, 1, 3, and then we have 8. Values of y, perhaps they could talk of 2, 7, and for example, 11 like that. So 3, n here is 3. 3 points, n is 3. And then we are required to develop a regression equation. Develop a regression equation. Develop a regression what here? Equation. So how do we get to develop a regression equation. Ladies and gentlemen, remember that regression is all about getting values of B and what here? A. Regression is about getting values of B and A. So we start with a B. Remember the formula is here. The formula is here. N stands for what? N stands for a number of points. N stands for number of points. If you count them on a Cartesian plane, 1 point, a point like this is defined by the X and the Y coordinate, right? So this is point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. So our N here is 3. Our N here is 3. And once I have my N, what I'll do straight away is to come and create 2 additional columns, a column here for getting XY, because I would want to take care of this, and a column here for getting X squared. So in this case here, we must create 2 columns, 2 additional columns, which will help us to get all the parameters we need for purposes of getting this B and A. So XY means what? That I'm multiplying. So like 1 times 2. 1 times 2 gives me XY. 1 times 2 gives me 2. 3 times 7 gives me 21. 8 times 11 gives me 88. And then here I am wanting to square X values. X values here squared. 1 squared gives us 1. 3 squared gives us 9. 3 squared gives us 9. 8 squared gives us 64. Ladies and gentlemen, remember that regression is basically a summations model. And if it's a summations model, now I want to come and sum, get the sum of X, sum of Y, get sum of XY, and the sum of what here? X squared, X squared. So could you kindly help me do that very fast? Kindly help me do that very fast. What do we have here, somebody? So we start with the first one, which is summations of what here? Which is summations of X. So summations of X, what do we have here? Summations of X, what do we have here? So we have here, this is quite simple. It's 1 plus 3 plus 8, which gives me summation of X is 12. Then we have summation of Y is 2 plus 7 plus 11, which gives me summation of Y here is 20. And then we have, ladies and gentlemen, summation of XY. Summation of XY, we have 23. This and this is 23 plus 88. 23 plus 88 gives us 111 like that. And then we have summations of X squared. So summations of X squared, what do we have? 10 plus 64. That is 70 what here? 74. 10 plus 64 is 74. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment I've gotten those parameters, those summations very nicely, all that I need to do now is to come and plug them in here, is to come and substitute. So come and substitute here. What do we have? Our B will be equal to N. N, you've just told me, is 3. 3 times summations of XY. Summations of XY already have that figure. It is 111. Minus, ladies and gentlemen, summations of X. Summations of X, I have it here. It is 12. These multiplied by summations of Y that I happen to be having here, which is 20, all over N. N again, my N, number of points we had already defined, that was 3. So 3 multiplied by summations of X squared. So many students confuse here. You'll always get them telling you that this is the same as 12 squared. No. Look at this. First of all, they want us to square the X values. So they are talking of these summations of X squared here, which is 74. So we have here times 74, now minus the sum of X. The sum of X. The sum of X, I already have it here. The sum of X here is 12. So 12 what here squared? 12 squared. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from there, we shall come right away and get our numerator and the denominator. Get our numerator and denominator separately before we get the quotient. So then this will be 3 times 111 minus 12 times 20, which gives me 93, which gives me 93 there. How about the denominator? This is 3 times 74 minus 144. You see, in this case here, 12 squared is 144 minus 144, which will end up giving me 78. It is the quotient that I want here. I want you to divide this for me. So this is 93 divided by 78. So 93 divided by 78 gives me 1.192, 1.192 like that, 1.192. And once I've gotten the value of B, ladies and gentlemen, what I need to do now right away is to come here, and get the value of A. B is a prerequisite, is something that we need in advance for us to be able to get A. So then how do we get our A, ladies and gentlemen? Having gotten B, I will straight away give you the value of A. And for us to get the value of A, we'll talk of summation of Y minus B summation of X all over N. So we have summations of Y minus B summations of X all over N. So summation of Y, already I have it. It is 20. This is 20 minus B. B, the figure that we have just obtained here, which is 1.192. 1.192, yes, times summations of X, which is 12 here, all over our number of points. Remember the number of points, we had defined this earlier on. We got this as what here? We got this at 3. We got this as 3, like that. So what we need to do is to come very fast here, and talk of 20 minus 1.192 minus 1.192 times what here? Times 12. You say equals, and then you come and divide this by what here? By 3, which gives us 1.899. 1.899. 1.899. Now, once I have A and I happen to be having B, it doesn't stop there. Remember, the examiner told us to define a regression equation. The examiner asked us to define a regression equation. Let's define a regression equation. Let's define a regression equation. Our regression equation, ladies and gentlemen, looks like this. So we have here Y equals A plus BX. Now that we have the A, we have the B. These are the connectors, regression connectors, parameters that connect between Y and what here? Between Y and X. So in this case here, our Y will be equal to A. Fortunately, we know that our A is 1.899 plus B that we had gotten earlier on of 1.192 what here? X. And really, that now becomes our what here? Our regression equation. That becomes our regression equation. Is there anybody who has any question? Remember, the beautiful thing with reading with these videos, you can always stop, rewind. You can always do whatever you want to do with them. They're quite nice to follow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to urge all those of you who would want to buy these video classes from us. The video classes from us, please get in touch with us immediately. 0719 525,000 is our number. Once, ladies and gentlemen, you buy our video classes at 3,500, we shall be able to give you all the videos covering the entire syllabus. Plus our RCMs, revision kit. You can imagine 3,500 for QA, entire syllabus. And then we will be able to give you, our revision kit for free. That's a very good offer that you need to grab. And of course, take it before it is gotten off the shelf. Remember, offers are never indefinite. They normally come to an end. So I would want to take a little break. And of course, during the break time, I expect, ladies and gentlemen, any student who will be having any type of a question to put it forth. You could perhaps talk to us, or ladies and gentlemen, you could go ahead and even type. You type there. I'll be able to see what kind of question you have. It could be regarding what here, regarding what I've just taught you called regression, or it could be regarding the kind of offer that I've given you. But most importantly, don't forget our phone, our telephone for any inquiries. We have here 0719 525 what year? 1000. So you can either call or do what here, or you WhatsApp. You either call or you WhatsApp. Either call or you do what here? You WhatsApp. Great. Okay, so remember the topic is regression analysis. The topic is regression what year? Analysis. The topic is regression analysis. And now I would want us straight away to go to our revision kits. Those of you who have bought our revision kits, page number 63. Page number 63, our revision kits, page number 63. Page number 63. We should be able to get a question there that we should be able to do together. Page number 63, we should be able to get a question there that we will be able to tackle very fast together. Page number 63. Are we there? Page number 63. So that is May 2017, question number 1D. May 2017, question number 1D. May 2017, question number 1D. May 2017, question number 1, dog. May 2017, question number 1, dog. May 2017, question number 1, D. May 2017, question number 1, D. May 2017, question number 1, D. Are we there? May 2017, question number 1, D. So before we continue, it will be very important for you to help me reach out to many people outside there. Please help us share this video to your timelines, on your friends' timelines, on your great groups that you are in. Please help us to share. Please help us to share. So that is what exactly I'm doing at the moment. Okay. Great. It's May 2017. Question number, May 2017. Question number 1, dog. May 2017. Question number 1, dog. May 2017. Question number 1, dog. Question number 1, dog. May 2017. question number 1, dog. So we are told here, if you're able to see my screen, we are told, ladies and gentlemen, that Market Intelligence Research Limited carried out a study on 9 households to determine the monthly income levels and the amount of expenditure incurred by the households. The results of the study are as shown below. So they have given us monthly income versus the expenditure. Monthly income versus the expenditure. So then what do we have here? The least squares regression function relating the monthly income and expenditure incurred by the households. And then they want us to interpret our results. So the key thing, ladies and gentlemen, here that very many students confused, which in this case, at the end of the day, so many students getting a 0 in this question, many students were not able to define the dependent and the independent variables. Many students were not able to define the dependent and the independent variable. So remember, if, for example, you are given, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of an illustration, you are given here, for example, output of maize versus rainfall amounts. So it is true that the output of maize we shall get is majorly dependent on the rainfall amount. So you're saying that maize output is dependent on rainfall. So you're saying the output of maize is dependent on rainfall. Meaning what, ladies and gentlemen? What this means is straight away that maize becomes the dependent variable. And all dependent variables are normally plotted on the y-axis. All dependent variables are normally taken to be y. The other variable will be called independent. You see, rainfall, even if you plant grass, even if you have whatever, rainfall has to come down, right? It's independent. So independent will go to the x like that. The same case, ladies and gentlemen, with something like advertising versus sales. Advertising versus sales. So advertising versus sales, I have to ask myself if I'm given 2 variables of this nature, these 2 variables here, and then somebody wants me to do a regression analysis. The very first thing I will do is to define between the 2. Which one depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Ladies and gentlemen, here it is sales, which is dependent on what here? Advertising. It is sales, which is dependent on advertising. So sales will be Y, advertising will be what here? X. The one that depends on the other goes to the Y. The one that depends on the other always goes to the Y. It's very important. Like in this question, they have given us 2 very important variables. They have given us 2 very important variables. And these variables that they have given us, ladies and gentlemen, if you are keen enough, you will be able to establish the dependency relationship very first. You'll be able to establish the dependent relationship very fast because they have given us monthly income versus what year versus expenditure. They have given us monthly income versus expenditure. So between the two, which one depends on the other? Ladies and gentlemen, between these 2, of course, you can't spend what you don't have. My spending is a function of my income. The more the income that I derive out of employment or out of business, the more my spending will be. So here, the expenditure is dependent on the monthly income. So automatically here we have expenditure, which is Y. And then the monthly income becomes what here? Becomes X. Any student who got wrong on this automatically got, if you missed out on defining this properly in the entire question, of course, you got it what here? 100% wrong. You got it 100% wrong. You got that 100% wrong. So ladies and gentlemen, now having defined that, everything becomes very easy. So I can see my monthly incomes in shillings, thousands. I can see my expenditure there. Now, if you look at my solution down here, you will be able, ladies and gentlemen, to see what I've done. You'll be able to see what I did. So you can see X here is the income. Up there it was in thousands, but I decided to do what I decided to return the 3 zeros, but you can work without those 3 zeros there. Y is my expenditure, just like how it has been defined in the question. So the only thing that I did was to introduce the two important columns for regression. That is XY and what here somebody X squared, which I've been able to demonstrate. And of course, after introducing the two columns, you can see I went ahead to get the sigmas, to get the summations, like summation of X is here, summation of Y is there, summation of XY is there, summation of X squared. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment I have those sigmas, now everything boils down to a simple arithmetic. So long as I'm able to remember my formulas, so long as I'm able to remember my formula of B and what here, A. So if it is B, ladies and gentlemen, how do we get B? This is something in regression that I have really to have mastery over. To get B, we normally take n summations of xy minus summation of x, summation of y. All over what, ladies and gentlemen, here, it is n summations of x squared, summations of x squared minus into bracket here, sum of x done what here, sum of x squared. And then please don't forget the formula of getting the intercept, the y-intercept, the constant. To get the constant, we normally take summation of y minus b summation of x all over what here? All over n. All over n. Very, very important. And here, of course, you'll come and count the number of points. You'll come and count the number of points. So count the number of points. Or rather, even in the question, at times they will tell you. At times they will tell you the number of points. At times they'll tell you the number of points. At times they'll tell you the number of points. Here they never, or 9, you can see, or 9 households. So if they don't tell you that, come and count here. You can see this point number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9. Those are 9 points. So n is 9. So when you go to my solution here, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to see what I did to get my B. You'll be able to see what I did to get my B. You can see in the formula, n is 9 times summation of xy. Summation of xy, you can see 151,200,000 minus summation of x alone, which is this summation of x like that. So, and I was able to get the value of B. Ladies and gentlemen, having gotten the value of B, getting the value of A was not a major problem. You can either decide to divide by n, these individual terms by n, that's okay, or you have everything all over 9, which in this case, ladies and gentlemen, was able to give me a fixed expenditure of negative 307.778. And therefore, this is my Y equation. So this Y equation, ladies and gentlemen, of course, A stands for the intercept. The fixed expenditure, of course, is an examination question. I know a negative spending really does not make sense, but in this particular case, we have to take it the way it is. This is the fixed cost. And of course, this is the variable cost, which in this case, ladies and gentlemen, the variable spending here. So you're saying that out of whatever income that we have here, about 13.87% will go for this particular spending. Will go for this particular what here? Spending. Very, very important. So in this case here, this is a variable expense, and this is what here? A fixed expense. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what even made some students here to lose a few marks here, I hope this is something you can follow. So long as you have got a screenshot of this, you'll easily follow what I did here to have arrived at this. And then now they came here and asked us in Roman 2, you can see they wanted us to give them the expenditure in a card by households whose monthly income is 30,000. So if the monthly income is 30,000, then what will be the monthly expenditure for these people? quite an easy thing. An easy thing because already I have my formula. Already I have my formula. This is the formula that I have. I have my y equals a plus bx. My y will be equal to a, which is minus 307.778 plus 0.1387x. And remember that x is the income. X is the income, and the income is the one they have given us, an income of 30,000. So basically they want us to give them our expenditure when the income is 30,000. When the income is 30,000. So therefore our y will be minus 307.778 plus 0.1387 times our x, which is what here? 30,000, like that, times 30,000, like that. And the moment you do it that way, then you'll be able to get our what here? Our expenditure. You'll be able to get our expenditure, which you can see from our solution, ladies and gentlemen, which you can see from our solution here. We got as a 3 million, or rather 3583. 3583. We got as 3580 what here? 83. We got as 3583. So I hope that is okay. And that marks the end of that particular what here? Exercise. That marks the end of that particular exercise. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. If possible, please share this particular video with your colleagues in your various groups where you happen to be a member, or even on your timeline. And then most importantly, please remember to buy our video classes, the video classes plus our revision kit. Plus our revision kit will cost you Kenya shillings 3,500 only. 3,500 only. And don't forget to just call 0719 525,000 to place your order. Otherwise, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure hosting all of you. It has been a pleasure hosting all of you this afternoon. Bye-bye. God bless you.